you can count on. You're watching WTVM News Leader Now. Sponsored by Montlick & Associates, Columbus Injury Attorneys.
We are looking at some rain to start off your Tuesday morning, but more by the afternoon. I've got details on the rain coverage coming up.
Tellers at the Columbus Bank have experienced their second holdup this year following the robbery at the Publix yesterday. We'll show you what the suspect looks like in the moments ahead.
Plus, Phoenix City Police want you to take a close look at these two. We'll tell you why officers want to speak with them and why they need your help first.
Hello there and welcome into the Tuesday edition of News Leader 9 Morning. Glad to have you with us.
The time has come to add a little more rain into our lives.
Yes, indeed. Let's find out about rain today and throughout the rest of the week, huh? Meteorologist Lauren Linehan with all the details. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Chuck and Cheryl. Well, I hope you enjoyed that hot stretch of weather, because it's gone now.
It's over.
Yeah, it's over. No more sunshine. There will be little peaks of sunshine, but not that extended sunshine that we've seen over the past week. But hey, we need the rain. We definitely do, because we do have those areas where we've seen some moderate drought conditions in the Chattahoochee Valley.
In our top story this morning, a bank robber is on the run after a SunTrust in Columbus was hit yesterday afternoon.
It was a familiar SunTrust. Detectives say the man approached the teller at this branch inside the Publix grocery store on Woodruff Farm Road just after 6 last night. He reportedly pulled out a gun and demanded cash.
No word on if he was able to get away with any money. The suspect was wearing a camouflage Ford hat, a long-sleeved red shirt, dark pants, and boots. Anyone with information on his identity is asked to call Columbus Police.
It's not the first time that tellers at that specific bank have been confronted by a holdup man.
Back in early February, this man entered that same branch demanding money. He was able to get away with an undisclosed amount of cash.
The suspect then was wearing a hat, a camel-colored jacket, and glasses with yellow lenses. You can see him here in this photo. No arrests have been made as the FBI continues to investigate. You're asked to call Columbus Police if you can identify either one of the two men.
Coming up on 4 after the hour, new this morning, Phoenix City investigators want you to take a look at surveillance video that shows a man and woman wanted for a crime. Authorities released this video of the suspects yesterday. They say the pair is wanted in an ongoing theft investigation, but do not disclose what the two are specifically wanted for. They were seen getting in and out of a burgundy-colored car before this video was filmed. Anyone who recognizes them is asked to call Phoenix City Police.
A law enforcement group in Columbus is throwing its support behind candidates in 5 local races. The West Central Georgia chapter of the Southern States Police Benevolent Association announced its endorsements last night. On the list, incumbents Bruce Huff, Evelyn Mimi Woodson, and Judy Thomas for Columbus City Council, as well as council candidate Tolly Strode. Also endorsed Vance Smith, Georgia State Representative. The group did not endorse a candidate for Columbus mayor.
Our members are concerned about, future pay raises. They're concerned about ranking. They're concerned about their cost of living. They're worried about their future. So we feel that our members have spoken.
The Benevolent Association endorsed those who they think embody the concerns of those in law enforcement, needs like pay compression and retention.
Tomorrow, News Leader 9 will host Alabama's 3rd congressional district debate right here on WTVM and WXTX.
You'll see Democratic candidates Mallory Hagan and Adia Winfrey answering questions ahead of the primary election.
Our Rosalind Giles and Parker Branton will moderate the debate live from Auburn University starting at 7 p.m. Central. You can submit questions for the candidates on the free WTVM mobile news app.
It is 5:30 past the hour. Happening today, Columbus men and women in blue will welcome Special Olympic athletes from across the state as they work to raise money and awareness for their cause.
News Leader 9's Jose Zozaya joins us live outside the Public Safety Building on 10th Street. That's the starting point for today's torch run. Jose, this is a long-standing tradition for both law enforcement and competitors, correct?
Good morning, guys. That's right. It's a decades-long tradition. In fact, starting off this morning will be the 35th annual Georgia Special Olympics Torch Run. This goes on to make sure that police are able to donate and raise as much money as they can for these athletes as they get ready for the Summer Games. Now, as far as today's torch run, we're going to run over the route a little quick. Basically, runners will take 10th Street, go all the way to 2nd Avenue, toward Manchester Expressway and River Road, and then they're going to wrap up the series of relays at the Lake Oliver Marina. This is a statewide event, so the final torch will ultimately arrive in the city where the 2018 Special Olympics Summer Games will be hosted. Again, over the past years, it's not just been Columbus Police. Several law enforcement agencies in the area, including the Muskogee County Sheriff's Office and the Marshal's Office, have raised thousands of dollars for these athletes. The Special Olympics, what they provide for them is the opportunity to get that intense training and the ability and the chance to compete with other athletes like them. And it is available for children and athletes with intellectual disabilities. We'll be here for the start of the race at the Public Safety Building, scheduled at around 9 this morning. For now, reporting in Columbus, Jose Zozaya for News Leader 9. We'll send it back to you.
Jose, thank you much. It is 6:07 now. A busy intersection in Eufaula is open to drivers once again, less than a day after city crews began road work.
City officials yesterday made final adjustments to the traffic lights and turn lanes at the Eufaula Avenue, Dale Road, and Paul Lee Parkway intersections.
While this intersection is now open to drivers, department crews will remain out there adjusting the timing of the turn signals, so keep an eye out for those workers.
Otherwise, you're told to pay attention to those turn signals as you approach that intersection in Eufaula.
It's always nice to know that the intersections are working properly.
Yes, it is.
Lights red, green, and yellow. We're going to run right to the green light now as far as the weather is concerned and our traffic update.
Let's go to Storm Team 9 meteorologist Lauren Linehan. And volcanic activity on Hawaii's Big Island is increasing.
Every day for the past 3 days, a new fissure has opened up in the Kilauea volcano. A river of lava more than a mile long is flowing toward the ocean from one of those fissures.
More people living near the site have been ordered to evacuate. The National Guard has been called in to help them get out of harm's way.
Troops are also monitoring air quality as some of those fissures continue to spew lava as well as toxic gas into the air.
A New York judge has sentenced a nanny to life in prison after she was convicted of murdering 2 young children in her care. Yoselyn Ortega stabbed a 6-year-old girl and 2-year-old boy to death in 2012. She also used the same butcher knife to stab herself in the neck, but she survived. Before her sentencing, Ortega begged for forgiveness. The children's parents say they won't forgive.
The defendant is an evil and utterly dangerous narcissist and a complete failure. It is right that she should live and rot and die in a concrete and metal cage.
A jury rejected the defense's argument that Ortega suffered a psychotic episode and therefore wasn't responsible for the children's deaths. She never denied killing them during her trial.
Hollywood is mourning the loss of the actress Margot Kidder. She's best known for playing Lois Lane in the 1978 film Superman, along with Christopher Reeve. She also did 3 sequels. Her manager says Kidder died peacefully in her sleep Sunday at her home in Montana. After struggling with bipolar disorder and homelessness, Kidder eventually became a mental health advocate. She was 69 years old.
And here's what's still ahead on News Leader 9 Morning.
He's a hero. I thought he was a hero.
A homeless man is being called a hero after he comes to the rescue of 2 elderly women.
See more of his quick thinking actions, all caught on video, when we come back.
A homeless man is being praised for his quick thinking after he stopped a man who attacked 2 elderly women.
The assault happened Sunday in New York, and the entire thing was caught on surveillance video. N.J. Burkett reports.
It was 10 in the morning on Mother's Day. One of the women is pulling a shopping cart. The other is using a cane. The man walking toward them is talking to himself and attacks them without warning. But in an instant, he is confronted by another man who witnessed the attack. He chases him down and tackles him. The 2 women, both in their 70s, are dazed. One of them is bleeding badly from her head. Shopkeepers and residents converge on the scene as the Good Samaritan struggles in the distance to restrain the man until police arrive. It happened outside Shoppers World on Pitkin Avenue. This video was shot by a store manager who couldn't believe it.
On Mother's Day, it's bad. He's a hero. I thought he was a hero.
People were so impressed, they shook the Good Samaritan's hand. Here he is, walking past the victims seconds before the attack. He told witnesses he's homeless and refused to look the other way.
He was actually here defending her, making sure that she was all right, made sure that everybody over here was all right. So it was like, thank God that he was here.
The 2 women would be treated for their injuries at Brookdale Hospital and were later released.
First lady got hit, wasn't even looking.
No, who does that, though?
Clobbered him right in the face. That's incredible.
Oh.
23 minutes after 6 now. Let's get a check of our weather right now with Lauren Linehan.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Coverage you can count on. This is WTVM News Leader 9.
Waking up to some clouds and even a few of us some rain showers this morning. We'll let you know how much rain we're anticipating coming up.
And law enforcement in the Chattahoochee Valley setting up with another type of gear as they run with some special athletes to help raise money and awareness for their cause. We'll have a live preview coming up.
And new video is giving us a better look at a car thought to be at the center of an elderly man's death in Columbus. We'll tell you what investigators have just learned in the moments ahead.
It is Tuesday, and thank you so much for joining us for News Leader 9 Morning.
Taco Tuesday. Well, I don't know what it really is, but a lot of people talk about Taco Tuesday.
Good,
That is
doesn't
not
it?
a bad idea.
Not a bad idea.
Could eat some right now, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Just don't eat them outside.
And they'll get wet and soggy,
yeah,
perhaps.
they will. Yeah, we are looking at some rain, but like we've been saying, that'll help bring our high temperatures down, and we need rain.
Homicide investigators in Columbus are releasing new video of a car tied to an elderly man's death.
It shows a white Hyundai Velocity driving down Alta Vista Drive on April 29th. At the same time, 74-year-old William Meadows was shot and killed as he sat inside his car. Investigators say they want to talk to that driver.
Authorities think whoever was inside that Hyundai was firing a gun. The suspect's car was initially thought to be a Kia.
Anyone with information on this shooting is asked to call Columbus Police.
The family of William Meadows is now planning to lay him to rest. Funeral services for the 74-year-old are scheduled for Saturday at Vance Memorial Chapel. Afterwards, Meadows will be laid to rest with military honors at Lakeview Memory Gardens in Phoenix City. He served in the U.S. Air Force during the Vietnam War. Meadows is survived by 3 children, a brother, 7 grandkids, and 4 great-grandchildren.
33 after the hour in Tallapoosa County, Alabama, a judge has set a trial date for a man suspected of a murder that happened more than 2 years ago. 35-year-old Clayton McDaniel was arrested in 2016 and charged in the shooting death of 40-year-old Norman Creighton. Hunters found Creighton's body in January of that year in a wooded area south of Dadeville. Investigators say the victim had multiple gunshot wounds. McDaniel will now stand trial for that death with a start date of June 5th. In the meantime, he remains in the Tallapoosa County Jail.
The U.S. Supreme Court has opened up the door for sports betting nationwide. Some states like New Jersey, West Virginia, and Mississippi have already passed legislation meant to take advantage of the ruling, meaning they all could have sports betting in the near future. In Alabama, however, it is unlikely that lawmakers will allow casino-style gambling on sports to happen in the state. That's because the Attorney General, Steve Marshall, weighed in on the new ruling saying, quote, the U.S. Supreme Court's decision is not about whether sports gambling should be legal, but whether states should have the right to decide that question for themselves. In Alabama, sports gambling is already against the law, end quote.
Back in Columbus, our men and women in blue will welcome Special Olympic athletes from across the state as they work to raise money and awareness for the cause.
News Leader 9's Jose Zozaya joins us live outside the Public Safety Building on 10th Street, which is the starting point for today's torch run. Tell us more about it, if you would, Jose.
Good morning, guys. Well, really the goal behind the torch run, as it has been for the past several years, is to raise that money and awareness, all that money going straight back to these athletes in the Special Olympics organization, where they provide that constant training as well as plenty of opportunities for these athletes, children and adults with intellectual disabilities to compete against each other. Again, over the past several years, it's been Columbus Police and other law enforcement agencies like the Muskogee County Sheriff's Office and the Marshal's Office raising thousands of dollars for the athletes. Today is the 35th annual torch run. They will be accompanying the athletes across the Fountain City. This is the route they'll be taking. The runners will, going on 10th Street all the way to 2nd Avenue, up toward Manchester Expressway and River Road, and then wrapping up this series of relays at the Lake Oliver Marina. Now, the torch run is a statewide event. Ultimately, the final torch will land, or at least make it to the destination in 2018, where they will host the Summer Games. This really is all about that camaraderie and raising community awareness to generate that money for a great cause. We'll be here at the starting point waiting for the runners to line up as they prepare to set off the relays at around 9 this morning. For now, we're reporting live in Columbus. Jose Zozaya for News Leader 9.
Thank you much, Jose. 36 after the hour, a student in Alabama is being applauded for jumping into action when he realized his school bus driver may have been drunk. Vicky Patrick is facing DUI and reckless endangerment charges after her arrest in Baldwin County Friday. Student Cody Butler smelled alcohol on her and called his mom from the bus. His mother called 911. But before police arrived, Patrick pulled the bus over and turned the engine off. Butler then made sure the bus stayed off until help arrived.
I didn't let her turn on the bus. I kept telling her to just stay where she was and that people were coming.
The superintendent says Patrick's blood alcohol level was 15 times over the limit. She is currently in jail without bond.
In Muskogee County, a proposed policing plan could add a number of full-time officers to schools across the district.
It's an idea that had school board members talking at the work session last night. News Leader 9's Tony Sloan was there and has this story.
I want to see more law enforcement in our schools as a deterrent to some lunatic who comes in to kill our children. And we can have all this discussion about training.
Superintendent David Lewis is recommending a plan to bring 10 full-time school resource officers to high schools in Muskogee County. It's an effort to provide more consistent security coverage for the district.
Well, in light of the recent events of some of the school shootings in Parkland and most recently just a few days ago in California, there's been a need for an increased police presence, or at least that's been the feeling of our boards.
It's a part of the 2019 fiscal year budget and would cost close to $3 million. Special Reserve Deputy Scott Thoman says the officers would undergo additional 40-hour training for de-escalation on school grounds. School board members say the goal is to decrease the number of students going downtown and have better student behavior overall.
Our officers currently are, the vast majority of them are part-time officers, and they rotate and they're not the same officer every day. So we feel like that the 10 full-time officers will provide that relationship piece that we think is really important at the high school level.
The budget increase, if approved, would cost around $800,000. When you add up the cost of hiring and training the officers, the total jumps to roughly $3 million overall.
The board will vote on this option next week.
Our time, 6:38.
Also out of the Muskogee County School District, a teacher is being applauded for the work she's done in her first year on the job.
This is Brittany James, a second grade teacher at Key Elementary. She found out yesterday that she is the winner of the Be the One project, which recognizes first-year teachers who have overcome some sort of obstacle and made an impact on their students.
James was recognized for her hard work at a ceremony. She tells us she didn't know anyone was paying attention to her work, especially in her first year.
I do it to make them better, and I didn't know people paid attention to me, and I didn't know I made that much difference in the school. Since it's my first year here learning, I'm still learning how to be a teacher and being better, so I didn't know anybody was gonna do this. I was like in the back, like a little shadow, nobody was paying attention.
Well, they were. As part of her achievement, James was presented with new school supplies, STEM kits, and snacks for her class.
Oh, and we say congratulations, Brittany.
That is a genuine emotion there.
That is.
6:39, let's see what's happening with the cars, trucks, SUVs, and all that for the traffic this morning.
Let's go to Storm Team 9 meteorologist Lauren Linehan. First Lady Melania Trump is recovering in the hospital after undergoing surgery to treat a kidney condition.
The announcement came as a bit of a surprise yesterday amid word that she will likely remain in the hospital for the rest of the week. Here's ABC's Janae Norman.
Good morning. This news was kept under wraps in a White House that's known for leaks. The First Lady's office released few details, but did say the procedure was successful. First Lady Melania Trump is recovering at Walter Reed Medical Center after being treated for a benign kidney condition. The president wasn't by his wife's side as doctors performed an embolization, a procedure to plug up a blood vessel to stop bleeding. A senior administration official tells ABC News he spoke with her beforehand and with her doctors immediately after. The surprise announcement came with few details and word Mrs. Trump will likely remain in the hospital for the rest of the week.
After this type of procedure, we watch for bleeding, we monitor kidney function, and we make sure pain control is adequate. If she does stay in the hospital a full 5 days, we've learned that that will be the longest First Lady hospital stay since Nancy Reagan.
It's still unclear exactly what the First Lady's condition is, and it also remains unclear why President Trump wasn't at the hospital for her procedure. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Oh, here's the First Lady the best. It is now 6:48, 12 minutes before 7 o'clock.
Let's get a check of our forecast from Storm Team 9 meteorologist Lauren Linehan.
Morning.
Well, recapping today's top news, the SunTrust Bank inside a Publix grocery store in Columbus has been robbed for the second time this year. This man approached a teller at the bank on Woodruff Farm Road last night, reportedly pulled out a gun and demanded money. No word on if he was able to get away with any cash. Now, that same bank was also robbed back in February. Anyone with information on his identity is asked to call Columbus Police.
New video of a car tied to an elderly man's death in Columbus has been released. It shows a white Hyundai Velocity driving down Alta Vista Drive back on April 29th. That at the same time that 74-year-old William Meadows was shot and killed as he sat in his car. Investigators say they want to talk to the driver of the Hyundai. Authorities think whoever was inside that car was firing a weapon. Anyone with information in the shooting is asked to contact Columbus Police.
Don't forget when you leave this morning to take that umbrella just in case.
It's pretty wet.
Gotta have the umbrella. And even if we don't see a deluge today, just know there is going to be rain chances in the forecast over your next 9 days on 9. So never hurts to have the umbrella in the car or put it in your kid's backpack, and a rain jacket. Those are pretty nice too.
So can LeBron and the team bounce back tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew the Cleveland person would say that. Boston's up 1-0 last night. Golden State beat Houston, so the Western Division is underway too.
Bye.
GMA is just up ahead.